Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this opinions video. Your thoughts, your theories, your opinions. We obviously didn't do one of these following SmackDown, the Go Home SmackDown, because the PLE was so close to that SmackDown that I thought we would just wait. So we're going to do it for this. Obviously, we would normally do it for Raw and SmackDown and the PLEs. So if you want to take part in this, if you don't know how to take part in this, then you just go to my Twitter account, Wrestling Daze YT. Go to Twitter. You can follow me, and then you'll see after Raw, after SmackDown, after the premium live events, I will ask for your feedback. Leave a comment and boom, that's how you get in these videos. Nice and simple. So with that being said, we've had plenty of responses following King and Queen of the Ring. So let's work our way through. We're going to start with John Elite, who said the PLE was okay. Love the finish to the women's tag title match, and I agree. I think Bianca and Jade are really starting to get into a groove. Dom is going to get an earful from Judgment Day. That's true. Damian Priest has already tweeted out and he is not happy. So you're right. King and Queen of the Ring matches were okay respectively, but I have no clue about the guy that helped Cody. And that's true. I don't either, to be honest. He's someone who is a local celebrity in Saudi Arabia. He's an entertainer over there. We have seen him before, but I'm not aware of his work. But either way, he helped Cody retain, so he's in my good books. Ro the Bro said, overall, I'd give the show a 4 out of 5 in ratings. The match diversity was excellent, exciting, and I was on the edge of my seat about 80% of the time. Loved the stories that were finished as well as the new ones that started. Can't wait to see Randy versus Gunther 2, Electric Boogaloo. So, yeah, I am in agreement. For those that haven't heard, there was an interview with Triple H. He said that he saw the controversial finish, and so he is booking the rematch. Don't know when we're going to get it, because, of course, one's on Raw, one's on SmackDown, so I don't know where you do the rematch. It could be Raw. It might be that we get this thing tomorrow. But Randy Gunther, rematch. I don't believe it's for King of the Ring, right? Because Triple H said ref's decision is final. Gunther is the winner of King of the Ring. But this is more to do with honor and pride, right? So who wins the rematch? I mean, it's going to be really messy if it's Randy Orton that wins the rematch, because then technically shouldn't he really be King of the Ring? Because there's a big asterisk next to Gunther's victory, and that's what Triple H said. If I know Gunther, he'll want that asterisk removed. So if Gunther wins, brilliant, no harm done. But if Randy wins, don't know, we start going down some very interesting paths. So I'm not sure what the play is here. I don't believe it to be a botch. I think they've planned this. I think they know they wanted Gunther to win, but they wanted to protect Randy. And I think that they knew they wanted to do this rematch. So I'm down for it. I mean, let's go. Definitely down. The match itself, I thought, was really, really fun. Really, really fun. It was just that ending seemed to disappoint people, and understandably so. But we're getting the rematch all the same. Rico said Saudi shows are weird. If it wasn't Saudi, then Logan wouldn't have been the opponent. I think Nia winning was the right decision, but she wasn't getting pushed coming in. She did nothing in the Battle Royal. Randy has legit neck issues. Funky pins will get him. Change the finish. So, yeah, that is not a good finish. I agree with you. It's a good point about how pins like that would get him because of his neck issues. But, I mean, obviously we saw that shoulder was well up. So I think that you're right. That finish definitely disappointed a lot of people. In regards to Nia, she got wins over Jade and Bianca, obviously heading into this. They're good wins, big wins. The problem is they weren't clean, were they? I mean, there was always reasons. So, like, Jade got DQ'd for using a chair, even though Nia tried to use it first. And then Bianca lost because clearly we could see her knee. She was holding it. She was selling it. She was selling it in the round before. They'd planted those seeds and, you know, left us in no doubt that she's struggling at the moment. So, you know, Nia beat a weakened Bianca, not a full strength Bianca. And so then she gets to the final. A horrific finish to that match against Lyra. I mean, I hope that Lyra's okay. They absolutely would have had to have scraped her off the mat following the ending of that match. You know, I'm still feeling it as well. Like, it was incredible. But she gets the win. It's a big moment. But I agree with Rico here. I would like to see Nia get in wins like Gunther. Gunther can step in there with people and get clean wins. Granted, not at King and Queen of the Ring, but we've seen him defend that Intercontinental Championship clean many, many times. So he has the ability to step in there and win against anyone clean. We just don't really get that with Nia. She's either losing, beating lower level talent, or when she's facing a Jade or a Bianca or a Rhea Ripley or something like that, you know, she just can't get the job done or gets it done thanks to other circumstances, you know. So I agree, it's a bit of a frustration because she now goes on to face Bayley at the moment at SummerSlam. Obviously, we don't know that's going to be the match, but at the moment it would be the match. And I just don't think Bayley's got any problem. Bayley is at that level where she should be able to just deal with Nia. So I would like to see us really build Nia up over the next few months as we head to SummerSlam. And I think they will, because they need to make it look like she's got a good opportunity, a good chance to win that championship. Chris 541 said, another boring Saudi show, but I will say that Lyra was impressive until Nia attempted to commit murder. Esmeralda said, I'm surprised Nia won. I guess the referee's decision is final in Gunther versus Randy, but still a lot of controversy in my eyes. I still hate Dominic Mysterio, and I'm not a fan of Liv that much, but I can't wait for Rhea to come back if Liv will hold the belt that long. Well, even if she doesn't hold the belt that long, and I think she will, if she doesn't hold the belt that long, we're still going to get Rhea coming after her. And there's clearly still some stuff going on. I saw earlier that Dominic Mysterio had liked a post of Liv's, like celebrating with the title. Dominic had liked a post. So none of us are believing Dominic, of course, that he was trying to prevent her from winning. We're expecting that truth to be revealed in the near future, maybe even as soon as Monday. But I'd imagine they'll try and keep the pretense up a little bit longer. Adersh said, I enjoyed everything, except the ending of Gunther Orton's match. Gunther should have hit multiple finishes and pinned Orton properly. I enjoyed everything else, though. Rating 4 out of 5. So Adersh, shout out to you, my friends. JD Jr. said, all the right people won. This new 5-match pay-per-view format. I can't tell if I'm liking it or not. Kind of feels like one huge advertisement. I don't really get that one huge advertisement thing. I mean, what I would say is it is a change, and you are right to point it out. I like it because I think all the matches deserve to be there. I think criticism of B shows in the past have been that there's been plenty of matches like Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin. You know, matches like that, which are like, I could just watch this on Raw. I could watch this on SmackDown. I really don't care for the match. And it's just there seemingly to just fill a bit of time. I think what Triple H is doing is he's taking all of those matches away, just giving us the matches that we really need, that really feel like they're worthy of being on a premium live event, and giving them time. So for me, I'm into it. I'm really into it. This fits that kind of takeover model that we used to see back in the black and gold days. You know, takeover shows always had just 5 matches. Always those matches mattered and were built well. And those takeover shows were always, as a result, very well received. And to be honest with you, I think that Backlash was well received. I think that this show was well received. I think people largely are enjoying these B shows. I suppose what's missing is that big OMG moment. But I suppose you might have to save those for WrestleMania and SummerSlam and Royal Rumble and those bigger shows to make them stand out a bit more. Maybe, you know, that's what makes those moments special, is that we don't get them all the time. But that's the reason as to why, for me personally, this show was like 7.5 rather than 8.5 or 9, you know. That's why it was kind of more around that range. Could we have got a bit of a OMG moment? But then you could argue that Liv beating Becky, even though it wasn't clean, making her the new champion, maybe that was that moment for people. Right, Ethan, shout out to you, my friend. Ethan Maverick said, this pay-per-view was amazing. All the matches delivered, except Randy versus Gunther. Now there's word going around that it might happen as a rematch. Would love to see it again. Randy versus Gunther too. Little bit sad that we didn't get Howdy or any member, but that adds more to the suspense. 8 out of 10. So Ethan, shout out to you, my friends. Yeah, obviously, I think there was a lot of people that were disappointed at not getting Howdy. They might feel a little different now that we've had the update from Howdy. And so maybe that will refocus some people. But June 17th, man, that date is loud and clear. So I feel like we've got that date. And they are communicating that date. And it might not make sense because it's a Raw and it's not a premium live event. So I am still looking at Clash on the 15th. Part of me wonders if there could be something happening there. Something big. Maybe they don't like walk out, but could there be a video that lets us know they're ready or something, you know, that's going to be really juicy all the same. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to the 15th, but I'm even more looking forward to the 17th. There's a lot of stuff that's really, really pointing to that date. Donald Landmeyer said, I kind of figured that Gunther and Nia would win. Gonna be interesting to see if Liv takes Judgment Day away from Mommy. Can't wait for the debut of the Wyatt 6. And great stream, as always, Daze 7.5. Donald, shout out to you, my friends. Yeah, really grateful for the amount of people that joined us for that stream. I would say that it was probably one of the harder streams we've done, actually, in a while. Because it's been a pretty full-on week. You know, we've done streams every day. What with those extra streams, the WhatsApp stream, the Twitch stream on the Wednesday and the Thursday. And it's not just the streams, is it? After that, like, you've got videos. We've been doing Nightbird videos. I've been trying to do unscenes when I can. And obviously that's been a bit hit and miss at the moment. But we've been getting out plenty of content. So if ever there was a weekend, I probably could have done with it just being a little later. It was probably this weekend, but no. We were in Saudi Arabia. So, of course, it was going to be like 12 hours earlier than it usually is. So, yeah, it was a little bit more of a challenge, I would say, this stream. But we still had some fun times, fun moments. And I enjoyed it all the same. So a big thank you to everyone that's hung out with us and shared their thoughts during King and Queen of the Ring as we were live watching it. We Are the Woe Movement said 8 out of 10, loved the Jade Bianca finish, glad that Liv won. I think Dom will help her on Raw, no more pretending. Ooh. So you think that's happening this week, this Raw? Triple Threat was great, poor Otis. Chad looked peeved. It's going to be a big fallout there, isn't there? I'm looking forward to that. Nia and Gunther were the right winners. Cody versus Logan was fire. I'm disappointed about Howdy, but this re-debut, it needs to be perfect. So We Are the Woe Movement, good comment. Watson, shout out to you, said Nia Jax deserves the praise she is getting. Her first run was a failure, but she's come on leaps and bounds. Just a thought. Drew wins at Clash and Punk comes out after leading up to the match at Money in the Bank. Imagine Drew beating Punk and recreating that iconic moment from Money in the Bank 2011. I don't know. I'm kind of split on it, to be honest, because a match of that size feels like you would do it at SummerSlam. But you can't do it at SummerSlam because Gunther won. So Gunther's going to get the title opportunity. So do you move it to Money in the Bank and do it at Money in the Bank instead? CM Punk, I mean, that's a big big match to do at Money in the Bank. But then saying that, Money in the Bank is regarded as a bigger show. It's like king of the B shows, really. And for some people, they regard it as the fourth biggest show. They feel that it's bigger and has replaced Survivor Series. And there's a good argument for that, to be honest. A good argument. So you could do it there. It's a big show to do it there. But as you rightfully said, we've done big championship matches like that in the past. Interesting. I genuinely don't know. I mean, I'm still thinking there's a chance that CM Punk costs Drew, because I think that CM Punk doesn't need the title. I think that at SummerSlam you could do Drew versus CM Punk without the belt being involved, and you could do Damian being a face, being the champion, and taking on heel Gunther. So Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, right? Certainly not a bad match if Damian is going to be the face and Gunther's going to be the heel, and it's for a world title. Can Gunther do it, right? And that could start Gunther's reign then, as obviously I'd imagine he'll carry that title for quite a while. Drew, CM Punk don't need the belt. They're both massive names. That's a great match to just have on the card anyway. And you could do it at SummerSlam. So I'm wondering if it goes that way instead, to be honest. But people have said you can't not put the title on Drew in Scotland. You've got to put the title on Drew in Scotland. And I think that's a fair comment, to be honest. I think that's a fair comment. But then, you know, as we said, do you then do Drew CM Punk at Money in the Bank? I think both ways are possible. I think both ways you can do. We're definitely getting Drew CM Punk. The question is going to be when, and is it going to be for the title? So both ways are possible. So I like your suggestion there, Watson. It's got my brain thinking. Logan James, shout out to you, says Uncle Howdy not showing up at Queen of the Ring. Oh, hello. Did I miss the top part? Uncle Howdy not showing up on Queen of the Ring. It was okay. Queen of the Ring, my rating is 8.5. Could have been better. Io or Dakota should have won Queen of the Ring, and Logan shouldn't be allowed to use the brass knucks in any match. I'm so happy about this. Was Liv's moment, thank God. Finally her revenge against Rhea Ripley, and taking the Women's World Championship is finally completed now. Liv will seduce Dominic Mysterio to be her new mommy, and mommy Rhea is not going to be happy when she comes back. And Saudi Arabia has 0% respect for women. Cody not main event. I'm tired of Cody main eventing. Predictable matches. I'm sure CM Punk interference at Clash, because Punk will cost Drew again. Some interesting thoughts there. Some interesting thoughts. So yeah, I think a lot of that feels like it's going to go that way with Liv obviously seducing Dominic, Rhea not being happy. We know there's issues in Saudi Arabia. There are steps in the right direction. Those steps might be slow for people, which I could understand, but at least the women are being allowed to perform now. I mean, go back a few years, the women weren't even allowed to have matches on the cards in Saudi Arabia. And getting tired of Cody main event because of predictable matches, that's not Cody's fault. That's the problem, is that Cody is champion. The responsibility is with creative now to give him good creative, put him in stories, interesting stories, and they have not done any of that. I mean, Cody AJ was a great match. Dave Meltzer gave it 5 stars. Cody against Logan was about as good as you could have made it, right? Logan's got limitations. He's good in the ring. He's good at delivering what he can do, but he's got limitations compared to an AJ Styles, right? I think even Logan fans would admit that. You know, Logan is not the same as someone that's been doing this for 20 odd years, right? So he's got limitations, but we brought the best out in what he can do. The match was entertaining. It got a really good score from our community that were watching live. So you look at the 2 matches that he's had where he's defended the title and you go, well, Cody's done everything he can do. The rest is down to creative to put him in interesting stories. And they just haven't. They just haven't been putting him in interesting stories. So I don't blame Cody personally. I blame creative. And I think the truth is that they know there's some big and big things coming up for Cody. And so we're just sort of like getting by, really. The focus for WWE has shifted. Cody isn't having to carry all of the weight because we are doing the Liv story and that's taking, you know, some of the weight. We are doing Nightbird and Wyatt 6 and QR codes, and that's taking some of the weight. We have just run the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring, and that has taken some of the weight. So whilst we're doing these other things, like the draft that we did as well, you know, Cody doesn't have to, like, you know, be in these big stories. So he doesn't have to carry as much of the weight. Doesn't mean that I agree with it personally. I would still love to see him, you know, in some really good stories, but I've no doubt that big stories, big creative is on the way for Cody. If nothing else, we know that he's on a collision course with The Rock at some point. Might be SummerSlam, might be WrestleMania next year, but either way, they're going to collide. And I can't wait for that. Right, here's Pro Wrestling News. Pro Wrestling News said, great show, 9.5 out of 10. The opener, Becky versus Liv, was an amazing match. The ending was done perfectly executed. I didn't expect Dirty Dom, so that was a surprise for me. Becky versus Liv rematch for the title has been announced for Raw. I think Dom will show again like he wants to cost Liv, but Liv retains on Raw. I don't think Dom will show his true intentions and join Liv until Rhea comes. The IC title triple threat match was also great. They protected Chad in the match by Sami pinning Bronson. So I think Gable is winning the IC title at Clash at the Castle. That's an interesting shout because that would hopefully free Sami up for Money in the Bank. Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring matches were awesome. I don't understand one thing. Triple H crowned Nia as Queen of the Ring, but he didn't crown Gunther. He just gave the crown to Gunther. We might be getting a crowning coronation on Raw. Main event was fantastic. Some big moments were created in the match, like Cody Cutter on the announce table, an insane frog splash by Logan on the announce table. All the matches were amazing. I was a little disappointed due to not returning of Uncle Howdy, but not too much because I wasn't expecting them. I think just to go back to that Gunther point, I touched on that in my review. I think he would have crowned him had Gunther have allowed him to crown him. You know, Nia went down on one knee and allowed the crown to be placed on her head. Gunther just sort of took the crown. I mean, had he have like dropped his head down to be crowned, he would have been crowned. But I think I could be proven wrong, but I just got the impression that Gunther didn't want to wear it. I just got the impression that he wanted to treat it more as a prize, as a trophy. You know, I've won the King of the Ring tournament, right? Rather than I'm wearing this, I'm the king kind of a thing. He carries himself with pride, carries himself with dignity. I wonder if he's looking at this thinking, it just doesn't really fit my character to swan around saying I'm the king, having that. He's got an arrogance to him, but it's more refined, isn't it? It's more refined. It's like, yes, I am just like when the crowd said you deserve it, you know, and he said thank you, but it's not for you to tell me what I deserve. Like, he operates to the beat of his own drum, doesn't he, Gunther? So I get the feeling that's why the wasn't put on him. I just don't think he wants to wear it. And I just think he is always thinking about his character and his presentation. And maybe it just felt like it didn't quite work, him putting it on his head. Right, Tribal Chief said the show was good. Triple threat match was awesome. Liv Morgan winning kind of shocked me. Cody Logan was awesome. I was hoping for Howdy to show up, but it's okay. I think they want to do it in Scotland since it's Nikki's hometown. Always this return has to be spectacular. 8.5 Dean Parker said, I thought King and Queen of the Ring, all matches were solid. I thought Lyra was going to win. I did as well. Glad we got King General. Just not happy with the screwy finish to the match. Thought it would be time to put the IC title on Gable. Just can't wait for Wyatt 6 now. Cameron Wrestling said 4 out of 5 overall. Liv winning was good, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they book her reign and how Dom will try to explain himself. Nia winning made my day. From seeing how she was in her first run and how the fans treated her with the botches, I'm glad she's improved, and I'm glad that she's won. It's really hard, you know, to pinpoint the change with Nia. I feel like the match quality has improved. That has helped, right? That has helped. I think she's in there though with women that are better suited to working with her. You know, she's in there with a Jade Cargill. She's in there with a Rhea Ripley. She's in there with a Bianca Belair. She's sort of like this super heavyweight wrestler, right? Nothing to do with her size or weight, but just she is a bigger girl, isn't she? You know, she's not like most girls. So, and she's like having to deal with a Kairi Sane. Do you know what I mean? Or a Candice LeRae or an Alexa Bliss. Like, she's dealing with these smaller women. And, like, if you chuck them around or whatever, like, problems can occur. Whereas now, I think if she's in there with a Raquel Rodriguez or a Rhea Ripley or a Bianca Belair or a Jade Cargill, you know, like the list go. Dare I even say like a Zoe Stark, an Ivy Nile maybe, who's just like this pit bull that's absolutely shredded, you know. I feel like there's women now that can bring the best out of Nia. It's a really interesting thought as to what has changed. I think there's less botches. That is helping the perception. The matches are better. How much is that Nia or how much is that her opponents? And then I also think that she is kind of learning how to be this monster. She's embracing it more. She's portraying it better. But then it's one of those where if you're not getting the amount of hate that you was before, if your matches are better than they were before, I'd imagine your confidence is better as a result. And this could just be an increased confident Nia that we're being presented as well. So it's an interesting conversation because if we put her in there with smaller women and the botches come back, I get a feeling that this narrative will very, very quickly change. At the moment, there's a lot of respect, but I am concerned that if a few things go wrong, that picture will change, you know. But the Nia conversation is very, very interesting. People are impressed with this run so far, yeah. And I'm pleased for her. She's killing it. She's doing a great job. So it's not a knock, but it's just analysing and digging into what has changed. Why is it going better this time than it was before, you know? Gaz Lilly said, boom, Shanker Daze. Landed that Liv and Nia won. Thought all the matches were PLE worthy. I agree. Even if some were predictable. Cody Logan. Good night on the whole. Could happily watch Gunther Randy another couple of times. No worries. Randy is one of the best we will ever see. I completely agree. He's brilliant. His selling was fantastic. I thought the match itself was great. It's only that finish that lets it down, but the chops, the brutality, it really felt like two guys that just so wanted to win. It was so important to both, and they were really going at each other. And, you know, you've got Orton selling his heart out. You've got Gunther doing what he does best, which is just brutalizing, and it was good. It was really good. Billy, King Kota Movement, shout out to you, my friends, said, it was okay, could have been better. Feel like Io or Dakota should have won Queen of the Ring, but I am happy for Nia. Gunther was the right decision. Rest was predictable. Overall, 7.4 out of 10. Hats off to Saudi for cheering the women. Last time, none got cheered. So, Billy, shout out to you, my friends. 7.4. Couple more comments. Nando said, great matches and a fun show. Nia killed Lyra. She really did. But I don't get it. When Becky won the championship, the YouTube dislikes had more than likes. And now Liv Morgan wins and Mid Morgan is trending. I'm not big on either, but I'm confused. Well, I don't think there's anything to be confused about. I think actually a few hours, it is true, when Becky won that Battle Royal, became the champ, initially there was more dislikes than likes. I watched a podcast where they were talking about that and they went to the video to point that out, and when they got there it had sort of balanced again. So I think that initial reaction was Liv fans being upset that she hadn't won, loads of dislikes, but you know, naturally people that aren't Liv fans watch the video and it sort of corrected itself. I don't know where it is now, that video, right? But it sort of had come back in line. Maybe the dislikes have took over again, but I know that at one point it had sort of leveled out again. So to be honest with you, I think Liv has got a very passionate fan base. I think they were very quick to make their feelings known, and that's why we've got all of those dislikes. I think as much support as Liv got, I think there's equal, if not more, people that don't like her. I think that's why Mid Morgan trended, right? So I said this in my review. I think that when it comes to Liv, maybe more so than any other wrestler, you either love her or you hate her. You don't find too many in the middle. I'm sure there are, right? Perhaps they're the silent majority, but all I hear is real opinion on Liv, more so than anything else. Like, people can't stand her. Like, she's no good on the mic. Her promo skills aren't good. Her match quality is not at the same level as the other girls. I don't know why people like her. Well, people only like her because she's cute and her looks, and that annoys people. And then you've got obviously the other side of it where people are, no, she puts on good matches, she's overlooked, she's an underdog, she's put the work in. And you've got like really passionate Liv fans. So I would imagine there's people watching this screaming at the video going, Liv Morgan's the best. I love Liv Morgan. How can anyone not like her? And then there's people going, yeah, that's right, she sucks. And like, we're only pushing her because she, is a pretty girl. So there is this two fierce camps that go to war, if you will. I'm not a Liv Morgan fan, to be honest with you. I have seen enough of her and enough of her matches where her matches don't do it for me. Her promos, I do think, are lacking. And I can list, a good 20 girls that I would much rather see as champion ahead of her, right? But what even I can't deny is that she has got a very passionate fan base. There are people that are really into Liv Morgan. She sells merch as a result. And so, wrestling is obviously caters to lots of different people and lots of different opinions. And so just because I don't see it in Liv or don't really care for Liv, like, there are people that do. So this was big for them. But yeah, there are two sides. I mean, I don't hate Liv. I don't have like strong negative feelings towards her. I don't mind her being in WWE. I don't mind her being around, but she's not someone that I'm looking to be a multiple-time world champion. Maybe the booking needs to improve. Certainly her promos need to improve. But I don't know. Let's see where this goes, shall we? She's the champion now. It's going to divide opinion. Some people are going to be on board with it. Some people aren't going to like it. But let's see where it goes. I don't hate it enough to really rant about it, speak out about it. I don't hate it enough for that. But yeah, when Rhea comes back, I hope Rhea destroys her. And gets her title back. But I've got a feeling that it's not quite going to go that way, I've got a feeling that Triple H is maybe thinking now's the time that we pull the trigger on Liv. She's been quietly built up throughout the years, and now's the time to really go with her and see what she can do. And to be honest, this is the platform, this is the time, this is her opportunity to prove everybody wrong. She hasn't proved everybody wrong by winning the title, but she'll prove everybody wrong if she can keep this title for a long time, right? Because then that means that, you know, it's working, basically. So, ball is in her court. Right, and Sean said, I don't know if you look back at the website, there's a new entry and it is interesting. So Sean, shout out to you, appreciate it, my friends. Yes, obviously we did the video on it. So if you go over to Wrestling Daze channel, there's a really good Nightbird video. I mean, not only is there an update to that journal, there's a glimpse of a new Rowan mask. Eric Rowan putting out this new video. I believe it was only a couple of weeks ago. I was trying to figure out where it had come from, and I saw a comment from the people who had posted it saying it was about 2 weeks ago. So that's interesting. Loads of other thoughts as well from the community. I just chucked so much into it. So I thought, well, I was thinking of doing a Nightbird video today anyway, so that might as well be it. So I just chucked a load of stuff in there. So it's a really good video if you've not seen it already. And that's it. I believe that is it. I don't think this one, unfortunately, will let me look at... Oh, will it? Oh, it will. Oh, I didn't, because it's I've tweeted this out on with my second channel, right? This is the channel I use for sending out links to the live streams. So that's why it's not the Wrestling Daze one. So I've used this one, and so I didn't think it would let me look at quoted tweets, but it does. Right, here we've got Kian giving it an 8 out of 10. Kian, shout out to you. And here's Harry. He said, I was wanting Howdy and others to return tonight, but thinking about it, I'll give it till Clash at the Castle. You might have to give it 2 days after that, June 17th. Where the teases can really start to advance and tease even more with the next QR codes. If we don't get anything by June 15th, I'll be disappointed. Wait till June 17th. I would say if you haven't got anything by June 18th, then you're allowed to be disappointed. But June 17th is the message we're getting loud and clear. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the support as always. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.